Do not make excuses for yourself. It's a pretty toxic world. You need to be proactive. Your parents usually have a good instinct. It is not that serious. Parents, do not send the email. For the love of God, it's gonna be the thing that takes you to the next level. Don't get so oohed and awed by the bag. What is up, people of golf? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna be doing a Q&A for you guys, but all things junior golf, amateur golf, collegiate golf. I've gotten a lot of questions from you guys about how to practice and like what my junior schedule looked like and when I started to really progress in golf. I have some like not horror stories from junior golf and amateur golf, but kind of stuff to stay away from, and I don't know, kind of the culture of junior elite golf and also the culture of collegiate golf. I don't know how far deep I'm gonna dive into my own stuff today, but I do want to answer a lot of your guys' questions. I did mention that my parents were gonna be in this video with me, but what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just answer all the junior golf questions by myself because I actually came down to Florida really last minute. Long story short, I usually come down to Florida to practice in the wintertime. I'm going to one of my old teammates' Indian weddings in Scottsdale. I had to come bring my stuff down to Florida before I headed there, and I'm going there tomorrow. So my parents are not with me, but when I go home, I do wanna do a video with them and their perspective because they also went through all of this with me. You know, I was the first elite golfer in my family. I feel like a lot of the girls who grew up, I don't know how many, but you know, there are a lot of the girls who grow up in this world where their parents were pros or even collegiate athletes or club pros, or they kind of understand the golf world. I mean, my parents were just as blind to it as I was. My parents both play golf, you know, pretty regularly, but all of us were very foreign to this subject in general. All right, I'm just gonna get straight into this. Also, go follow me on Instagram because a lot of times when I reach out to do these Q&As, I send out questions on my Instagram. It's just my full name, Alexis Misowski. This time I did post it on my YouTube as well. The questions that were for my parents, I'm gonna leave out. You know, there was something like, as a parent, what's critical to avoid when encouraging my kids to follow their passions? Like, I could try to answer that because I feel like I have a gauge, but I am gonna wait for my parents to answer those questions. Okay, this is a really good question. Growing up in Indiana, what did you do to practice in the wintertime? So I would say that I have always been pretty, I don't want to say I was always pretty advanced in golf, but my parents put me in everything growing up. I was in roller skating, like very high level, softball, basketball, soccer, golf, dance, everything you could think of I was playing. In 3 of those sports I played at a pretty high level. But as far as golf goes, I started when I was 7 years old. They just put me in random local tournaments, and then I would go practice a lot with my parents, right? Because that's what they did for fun. But it wasn't to the point of where I was like grinding in the winter time. When I was 7 and 8, I was kind of progressing in the junior golf world quickly. When I first entered my first few junior events, I was winning them, and I was in like the age groups older than me. So my mom was reading the newspaper and found my swing coach to this day. His name is Matt Blair. I started going to him. He had like a generator, fire would come out of it, and we would hit out of a garage in the middle of winter with snow on the ground. I remember I had a North Face jacket. I would always go to the fire to warm my hands up, and it would just crisp up like all of my North Face, you know, like the furry ones that used to be in trend. That's really what I would do. Once a week I would have a golf lesson, so I would go to his like backyard generator type deal. And then also we have like a golf dome 30 to like 45 minutes away from us. And once I started getting serious about golf, like started jumping up the levels, my parents, or when I started to drive, would take me to the golf dome every single day, or I would just set up a net in my basement or my garage and I would hit balls in there. I would putt inside or on the carpet. You could practice your stroke anywhere, you know. That's really what I did. And then a lot of people ask me, why did I choose Indiana University for a college if, you know, you're still gonna have winters? And honestly, I don't really know. When I was getting recruited, like I was like signed, sealed, and delivered by the time I had just turned 15 years old. Like, just going to become a sophomore in high school. That rule has changed. Like there's some deal with the NCAA now where, you know, you have to be a certain age or whatever. But like essentially I was a 14-year-old deciding what I was gonna do. I visited a lot of schools. I think Indiana in my head at the time, like it was a perfect distance away. It's like still 4 hours from my home. I always kind of had an off winter. My body has always had a hard time recovering ever since I was 14, 15. I had started having lower back pain at probably 14. I had my rib injury at 18. I had a torn shoulder at like 12. Like I don't have the best body in terms of recovery. I never have. So in my head, I was like, you know what? I've never had an intense winter. I don't want to go somewhere and have to be like grinding all year long and then just completely be wiped. I mean, that happened anyway, right? Like I had a collegiate career ending injury in college. That is another story. So essentially in the winter time at Indiana University as well, like we would just be hitting in bays. Obviously we would go on qualifying trips. They might take us to Florida one time, practice a little bit, but essentially it's just a lot of indoor practice. How did you handle poor performance at your younger age? I still got pissed off for sure. I don't remember when I was 7 or 8. I don't think I understood like the magnet, like it wasn't important. Whatever I was doing at 7 like wasn't important. I do remember always like kind of having a fire, not to the point where I was embarrassing myself or something. I actually have a funny story. I remember one time it was like one of my first junior events where parents could caddy for you. My parents don't caddy for me. My mom actually did come to one Epson event this year because I was really struggling and I thought maybe if I had somebody I knew with me that it would help, but my mom and dad aren't my caddies. But when I was like 6 years old, I had a junior event and I remember this like it was yesterday. My dad was carrying my bag, I think, or he was a spectator. I don't know. He was there and I hit a drive and I remember somebody said, "Nice drive." And I did this. Okay. I went like this, like kind of like the little nod, you know? When I tell you my dad came over to me in the middle of the fairway and he said, "When someone tells you you hit a shot, you say thank you." And we left the golf course and I didn't finish that tournament. Till this day, you can look into the GGG videos. If my voice isn't muted because there's something going on in the background, no matter what, no matter how many times somebody says good shot, I say thank you to every single one ever since that one day. You know, usually we play in sixths. So if you hit like a shot to the middle of the green from 120 yards, oh yeah, good. It's like good etiquette, right? Oh, good shot. Yeah, good one. Good swing. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a habit now. Genuinely, since I was 6 years old, that happened. I actually don't even know what I was answering. Oh, that I get pissed off. Yeah, I do remember still getting heated. Do I have a golf coach? If so, how did you go about finding the right one that was the right fit? My mom, like I said, when I was 6 or 7, was like scanning the newspapers and stuff, and she found my current swing coach, and I've been with the same one since I was 7, so like almost 15 years. Is that 15 years? 7, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 17 years. I don't know. I have kind of mixed opinions on swing coaches though. As you guys probably know, I'm a very feel-based player, very body swing, very athletic swing is what I've always had. And then on top of it have always been taught. It depends, right, on who you are. In my opinion, I would tell you to go to somebody who is like that because that's my opinion. But I actually don't think you should send like a 7-year-old to seeing what your launch angle is and your, you know, face to path and your ball speed. There are going to be people, 50% of people are going to think that is what you should do because then you could perfect the swing at a young age. I don't think you can perfect a golf swing. I think you have to play golf. I think you have to learn how to play the game of golf. I don't think you need to learn how to play the game of golf swing. And whenever I try getting into how to play golf swing is when I play my worst golf. So my advice is to find a golf coach or a swing coach who is very feel-based, who's very lax, who has discipline, but teaches you how to play the game of golf rather than play golf swing. When did I start golfing? And when did I fall in love with the game? Like I said, I started golfing at 6 or 7. When did I fall in love with the game? I don't know. I don't even know if I would say it like that. I got very invested at like age 14, I'd say, when I got into high school. Wasn't gonna play high school golf. That's like a big kind of yes or no thing for female golfers because you go up to the red tees. And for example, someone like me who went in, I was a very good junior golfer. When I was going into high school, Indiana wasn't, my part of Indiana, like northern Indiana, wasn't very strong in women's golf. My high school team, my freshman year, was pretty good actually. But other than that, our scores would be at sectionals, my score, maybe another girl, and then nothing under 90. There was this thing, oh, should I play college or should I play high school golf or should I not play high school golf because then you're like going down a level. But I wanted to play high school golf. All my best friends played high school golf. All the elite girls in the state, like Kaylin, Hadley Waltz, who else was good? Annabelle Pancake. We had like 5 or 6 really, really strong golfers. They all went D1 in my class. And I decided I wanted to, and all the colleges I was talking to told me to play high school golf so that I could work on my wedges always work on scoring and work on winning. When I went into high school, I played basketball as well my freshman year. I did all right in high school golf my freshman year. Won most of the invitationals, but I didn't compete at state. And then my sophomore year, I won outright. Like I won the individual state title. So I'd say when that happened is really when I was like, and then I committed, and then I started playing AJGAs and USGAs and everything. Like really intense, really fast. Honestly, it was a pretty toxic world. But I would say that I really started getting into golf at like 14, 15.
What was your handicap when you were selected for college?
I think I was like a I couldn't even tell you. My senior year in high school, I was probably like a +4, +3. But you have to know the yardages, even for like amateur golf, is shorter than what we play in pros. Are your parents pro golfers? No. My dad was actually a pro baseball player, and my mom plays golf like for fun. She played in high school, but nothing too serious. When is too early to start golf? I don't think there's an age that's too early to start. It's just kids letting out energy. But give them a club. Let them figure it out on their own. You don't teach a baby how to walk, is always what I like to explain it as. Like, give them a club, give them 100 balls, just let them try to hit it. They're gonna figure it out eventually. And you wanna let them figure that out on their own, the eye-hand coordination part, the touch. And then once they start going up levels, you can start getting them a swing coach and kind of rendering in on what they need to work on. How do you think you built your confidence from a young age? You seem like a very confident person. Thank you. That is a great compliment. How did I build my confidence from a young age? Guys, I've always kind of had belief in myself. I don't want to say arrogance because it's not that, but always it's not like I always thought I could set my mind to do whatever. Like, yeah, obviously. But I truly, deep down, like I'm not just faking it, have belief that I will accomplish something. From softball to basketball to roller skating, to golf, to school. I just think I can do it. And it's like, I actually think I can. It's not a problem. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna do it. I really have thought like that from the time I was little. When I was like in the World Series softball, and I was like the leadoff batter. I was like 12, 13, I was nervous, but I just remember being like, get me out there, I'm gonna show everybody like what I can do. Kind of in that, I've always had that kind of demeanor about me. And I want to, it's because of my parents. It's because of the way my parents raised me, not that they sat me down and had me do those whatever phrases, that I see. I can do it. I am great. I never did anything like that, but it's almost just like they made me do stuff on my own. And usually I was put into like a level higher of sport. So I kind of always had to rise to the occasion. I'm also an only child, so I grew up extremely independent. I feel like only children could go like one of two ways. Like you're extremely dependent or you're very independent. My parents were at work. They would drop me off at the golf course. My parents would drop me off before work, leave me there for 8 hours, and pick me up after work. That's how I spent my childhood. Even now, I'm a very independent person, very content with my own self, being alone. I'm just like alone for a little bit. I'm okay with it. I'd say that's why I had confidence at a young age, because I just kind of figured everything out on my own. And my parents are confident people in different ways, but they are. My dad is very high energy, intense, athlete, like me on steroids. And then my mom is super positive as a person. Like, okay, that's fine. Like it was a good mix of personalities to raise me. I definitely got more of my dad because I'm a little more intense and just have that kind of like quick trigger. But dare I say that's, I don't know, I feel like it helps you as an athlete. I feel like every single athlete who's known is just like a little bit over the top. You have to be. I find that I'm a little bit intense. I'm definitely learning that as I'm like around more and more people. I'm just like ready to go, I'm just ready to go at all times. Want to play a match? All right, let's play a match. Kind of that way.
I don't know. Did that answer your question on how I got confidence? I don't know.
All right, I just really quickly do want to give some tips on getting recruited in college. You guys need to be proactive. I didn't want to. It's awkward. You're young. You're not awkward. It's not embarrassing. Coaches are going to appreciate that you're reaching out to them. Now, depending how old you are, they can't can't respond to you. They cannot respond to you unless you reach a certain age. I think it's like your junior year or something. I don't know. The rules changed since I was in high school. Just look that up. Like NCAA golf recruitment regulations, something like that. It'll be very easy to find. Or just ask somebody. Every single college you are interested in or not interested in, send them an email, send them your resume, send them your tournament schedule, and let them know that you're interested. Because there are so many golfers who are probably better than you that aren't reaching out. And if you reach out and you have your name known, if you send one email, that's one more email than they sent. Be very, very persistent. For example, when I started getting recruited, like I would get random pamphlets in the mail from smaller schools, I would immediately email them. And my parents helped me out with this too, because I had a golf coach that kind of helped me understand that I needed to be proactive, but we still did everything on our own. What I did is I created a resume. I put, high school, like your graduation year, something interesting, and then put your recent tournament rounds, your upcoming tournament rounds, so that they can come out and watch you, because they can come out and watch you whenever they want. You kind of wave, say hi. That way they did a little loophole and you guys have now made a connection. I am telling you, if you finish a tournament and you play all right, update them. Send them another email. Hey, Coach X, hope you're doing well. I just finished playing in the Indiana State Junior Championship. I shot 75, 80, 85. Just wanted to update you on my scores. Happy to see that, the Jaguars won their football game yesterday. Need to work on my putting and chipping. Here's my next tournament is the AJGA at the end of July. Talk soon. I don't know. Some people will tell you other things. Just update them. Let them know you're interested early, because these coaches, they look so deep into graduation years. I was committed at the beginning of my sophomore year. I mean, my friends were committed at the beginning of their freshman year. That's different now. But they really do look deep, and you can be a late bloomer, right? It's okay if you're not playing super well your freshman year, your sophomore year, even your junior year. Just keep updating them. Let them know you're working. If they see a trend, if your scores go down from 85, oh, she's shooting 83 now, blah, 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 blah. Send them swing videos. They like to see those. Like have like a little media kit of your swing down the line, from the back, from the front, just something that makes you stand out, and just send them. If you want to go to play at, if you want to go play at freaking the biggest school and you are not playing good at golf, still reach out to them. And if you think you're too good for certain schools, like a D2, D3, still reach out to them, because honestly, you never know. Like, you can have a better career at a smaller school, get more playing time, XYZ, than if you just go to a bigger school and sit the bench the whole time. Just keep your options open. Just because you email somebody, it doesn't mean that you're locked in with them. They're not even gonna respond to you. Just send it. It can only be helpful. But parents, do not send the email. For the love of God, don't attach your name. Don't have it from the parent's email. If you don't let your kids have an email, make them an email with a different thing, like Alexis loves golf at Gmail, whatever. Like, they need to be sending it on their behalf. If the parents are interfering, coaches do not like that. Coaches don't like golf parents. Coaches don't like helicopter parents. Coaches don't like golf meddling parents. I've been through this. I know what coaches like. Don't get me wrong, like, I had a great family. It's not like my parents let me off. They went to every recruiting visit with me. They asked a lot of questions. They asked more questions than I did. But I just mean in the initial communication, you do not want to be the one sending an email saying like, hey, my daughter has XYZ and she really likes you guys. Like, just like an instant no from the coaches. Do you think if your parents were poor and if you also had to work as a teenager to support your house to pay rent, you would still have a chance? 1,000%. Everybody has a chance. Every single person. And the more you sit there and feel bad about your situation, it's just the less improvement you're gonna make. Every single person who gets to this level, whether they have to go through a struggle when they're 10, 15, or 25, which is what I'm going through now, wants to say, hey, I don't have a chance. At the end of the day, I have no sponsors. I have no sponsorships for the tour. I have no memberships at any golf course. I have no club sponsorships. I have no ball sponsorships. What else? I have no clothing sponsor. Like, I am paying my way through the tour. If I want to compare myself, I could look at the next girl over from me who has her entire season plus more sponsored for her. She's not thinking about money whatsoever. She can enter any tournament she wants. She could stay in the hotels with good beds. She can eat steak for dinner. Like, she doesn't have to get the cheapest food. She can just get a new driver whenever she wants it. You see what I'm saying? I have never once thought like that. Does it suck? Yeah, of course it sucks. But it's exciting, right? Like, it gives me a better reason to go out there and play. At the end of the day, it's just golf. It doesn't matter how you get to the golf course or what clubs you're using. The only thing that matters is the score at the end of the day. And obviously how you feel. But if you know what I mean. It just matters how you play the game of golf and if you're enjoying yourself. If you love golf and that's the one thing that gets you away from your situation, keep playing golf. Your situation is probably going to be the thing that drives you through it. Do not make excuses for yourself. You 100% still have a chance. Do you know how many girls that were recruited when I played in college internationally who had never even been to the US before? Who parents, some of the stories I heard were crazy. You can still do it. Trust me, you can still do it. Look at me. Just keep on going. Just keep on going. That's all you can do. I'm a junior golfer and currently a junior in high school. I've been struggling to lower my scores and stressing out about colleges. I've sent many emails, but I'm scared that no one will want to take me. Do you have any advice? You're doing the right thing. Keep sending emails, and here, broaden your horizons. If you're a senior in high school and your scores aren't going down as low as you hope them to be, let's be realistic. Email some schools that maybe you wouldn't have been interested in before. The D2 school around the corner, even D3 schools. I mean, there are D2 schools who are better than D1 programs. They won national championships on top of national championships. Look outside of the box. Look in a different state. Do your research. Don't just do, the state school that my whole high school goes to and then the other state school that my whole high school goes to. Do your research. Broaden your horizons. It's not just gonna jump out at you, unfortunately. Even I was a good junior player and I had to work my butt off to figure out where I was going for college, let alone if you're kind of just now emerging on the ranks of becoming a junior amateur golfer. So if I were you, don't worry. If you're working hard, everything's gonna be fine. Don't think about your scores and getting into college while you're playing golf. Just stop that now. Stop that early. All you can do on the golf course is go hit the ball. Okay, nothing else is gonna happen. That's all you can do is hit the ball, and then when you get off the course, you can figure out the rest of it. Everybody thinks the way you are. For example, when I was playing, I was thinking if I finish really good in these next two tournaments, maybe I can go to somewhere even better. The best schools in the nation. No, it didn't work out. But no matter where you go, you're gonna play golf. If you go to a D2, D3, don't count those out. Those are where some of the best athletes are made. Getty, for example, he didn't go to some big D1. He's won 2 Iowa Opens. He's got a trillion course records. He's the best golfer I've ever met. He wasn't the number one player at the number one school in the nation. He went somewhere where he knew his game was gonna get better. He was gonna play in every single tournament, and where he had the facilities to practice all year round, even if it was in the north. So don't be discouraged. Don't have your eyes only set on one prize. Broaden your horizons, keep sending the emails, and it's gonna be fine. What was your practice routine like when you were younger? Obviously, I'm a professional now. My practice routine is 50% now of what it used to be when I was younger, because at this point, I still practice a lot, obviously, it's my job. But it's not so much just beating and beating and beating drills and wedges into my game. I mean, I hit balls for a long time. Hours. I putted around like there was gonna be no tomorrow. I would play games, 18 holes of putting, chipping up and down, only chipping with a 9-iron, only chipping with an 8-iron, only chipping with a pitching wedge. Work on your wedges. Everyone is gonna tell you that. Just do it, please. Still till this day, if my wedges were just that much better, I would be on tour. That is the first thing that can always get you out of a grind. Hey, if you miss the fairway and you got to pitch out, but you hit a good wedge, it's a par. If you hit it down the middle of the fairway and you hit a good wedge, it's a birdie. If you have to lay up on a par 5, it's a birdie. If you have to get up and down, it's par. I mean, they save you. Don't so much instill exact technique. Use your feel, learn feel. What I mean by that, throw out a bunch of balls, get one club, 58 degree, 60 degree, and just literally try to hit every shot you can with them. Try to hit them as high as you can. Flop as high as you can. You don't know how? Figure it out. Open up your club base. See how to hit it high. Think about it. If you had a ping pong ball like this, how do you hit it high? I don't know. Okay, we'll figure it out. How would you hit it high? You go like this, right? Try to get some feel. That's how you have to learn feel. You have to learn touch. Throw balls onto the green, see how close you can roll them. Try to chip them. It's all creative. You're like an artist, right? With all the wedges and green work. I would just say, make sure you're practicing wedges at least an hour a day. You know, some days only do wedges. Work on 30 minutes of just compressing a wedge. Your stock 60 degree, whatever, stock. Hit it a bunch of times, sit down, go on your phone, get back up, do the same thing 54, do the same thing at 50. If your back hurts, lay down, take a break. Then you could start, doing some feel shots, go around the green, play 18 holes up and down. Just work on your feel. I promise that's gonna be the thing that takes you to the next level. As a high school golfer, what is the main thing I should be doing to get recruited? What kind of practice schedule did you have in high school, and what's the best way to get better? Like I said, in the summers in high school, I would just practice all day at the golf course. And what I mean by that is I didn't really know what I was doing either, right? I didn't have someone with me to teach me, but I knew the more you do something, the better you get at it. I would hit balls into oblivion for a few hours. I would putt. I would practice a lot of short putts. I remember specifically. If I'm thinking back now, I probably would tell you to practice more lag putts. The best way to get better. Well, wouldn't we all like to know that? I just want to give advice to any parent watching this video or any kid watching this video to not take it too seriously. It is not that serious. If you're a scratch handicap and you go out there and shoot 90, nobody cares. Nobody is gonna remember, okay? I'm telling you, I'm 24 years old right now. I just finished my rookie season on the Epson Tour, played bad, lost all my money, made 2 cuts. Do you know how many people know that about, well, obviously all of you guys know that about me now, but I don't care. Like, I'm doing my best. Golf is not a game that can be perfected. Take golf with a grain of salt. Please, coming from me, who went through all of this. I went through a horrible time in college golf. Horrible. I was at a low mentally, extreme low. Take everything with a grain of salt. If you chunk a chip, it's okay. If you thin a chip, it's okay. If you hit a bad shot when it's really important, it's okay. Nobody cares that much except for you. 1 bad shot, 2 bad shots, 3 bad shots, 4 bad shots, 5 bad shots is not going to dictate your future, okay? Maybe for me in Q school will dictate my future, but it's not dictating anybody else's future. It's not dictating my destiny, right? Like, okay, didn't play good. 5 bad shots on a golf course, so you shoot 80. It's not gonna dictate whether college wants you or not. And if it does, do not go there. I had a coach, I was so set on going to this school, okay? So set. Die hard fan. I visited there and immediately I was taken aback from this coach. Just bad vibes. I was 15 and I got bad vibes, okay? Use your instinct. Don't get so oohed and awed by the bag. Like, don't go to a school just because you're gonna get the name of the bag on the range. Go to a school because you feel comfort in it, because you feel like they're gonna care about you as a person before a golfer, because you don't want to come out like me, injured and not really having anywhere to go. Go there because you feel fun, you feel excited. Don't go there because their golf and their golf bag is cool, but you feel like the coach doesn't like you. Yeah, that's probably a no, because if anything, the coaches usually overextend on the visits. Usually like way more flamboyant on the visits than during the regular season. I remember this person told me, if you qualify for, you gotta qualify for some junior masters before we look at you. I'm like, all right, what do? I go qualify for the US Girls Junior Girls PGA in the same year, and make the cut in the junior, and I finished 9th in the junior PGA. Like that leaderboard was insane. I don't remember who won. Lucy, like, it was like all the girls on the LPGA now was in the top 10. I'm like, all right, I did it. I mean, I really played out of my butt. Like, I did it. I was like, okay, I did it. All right, you got to qualify for one more. Next year, qualify for the US Girls Junior again. And watches me. I'm like, oh my God. I 3-putt, okay? I'm like 16. I 3-putt on this championship style course. And he just left. And I never heard from him again. Like, if someone is literally dropping you because of 1 3-putt, you were never supposed to go there to begin with. Go with your instinct. Like, you're probably smart. You play golf. You're intelligent. You have critical thinking skills. You know, you can kind of tell like when a guy doesn't like you or when a girl doesn't like you. It's that same thing from a coach. If you feel like they don't like you and that you're trying harder for them than they are for you, once you're in person, it's always going to feel like you're trying harder for them when you can contact them and they can't contact you back. It feels like this one-sided relationship. But once you go on a visit with them and you guys are head to head and you're just kind of getting bad vibes and he's not, you know, they're not responding and oh, this girl just committed and she's a +8 handicap. Okay, that's fine, because you don't want to go there and be treated like the tool in the back of the shed. If that happens, most times you have to work your way into a lineup, but you don't want to go there to be a placeholder. I promise it's not fun and it's gonna make you feel bad and you're probably gonna end up transferring. Go somewhere where you really feel loved by not only the coach, but the entire community there. As a high school golfer, what scores do you need to shoot to be eligible to play in college? Also, what are your tips to get recruited? I already said, put yourself out there, create a resume, swing videos, be proactive, be annoying, in other words. I mean, anything and everything, right? Like, if you want to go to the top schools in the nation, you probably need to be shooting consistently under par. If you want to go to a mid-tier school, you probably need to be shooting in the 70s, upper 70s. I had a friend in high school who randomly picked up a club her sophomore year. I think she shot mid-80s to mid-90s, and she went and played for our branch school that's near our area. It just depends on your level. The better scores you shoot, obviously, the more opportunities for bigger schools to recruit you. But in terms of wanting to go play golf, still to this day, even though women's golf is growing significantly, especially with juniors, don't give up because you're not the best one on the golf course. I promise, more times than not, somebody who isn't at that high of a level as a junior or an amateur goes to a smaller school, let's say like a small D3, and they play every single event. They practice all year round, and they're enjoying themselves. They're enjoying the game of golf and are not turned off completely by golf. They come out turning pro and getting through Q school in the first go, and they pop up onto this scene, rather than the girl who I'm kind of like an in-between here. You know, you go, you're an amazing amateur player, you get to college, you're overworked, you're starting to not like the game of golf. Oh, your entire team is insanely good, so even though you shot even 2 under at qualifying, you still didn't qualify. So now you haven't had competitive rounds. Now you're getting discouraged. You're overworked. You're overworking out. You're getting injured. And this girl ends up hating golf and quitting. Now, if you are playing at a higher level, have that be known. Please. Collegiate golf is fantasized about. It's an amazing thing. Any collegiate sport is an amazing experience. Please go after it and please do it. But please do not get into the hating golf trend. I got into that in college. I was so done with golf because of my injury and I couldn't play, and then there was COVID, and there's a lot that goes into it that I'm not gonna speak on. Keep the game as the game of golf. Keep it as something you enjoy. Keep it as your hobby, right? You're going there to be a student athlete. You're going there to be a student and you're an exceptional athlete. That's why you're gonna go play at a high level. Now, if you have a great, like most college coaches are great. You have them that care about you and your well-being, you're completely set. But if you're in a situation where you're in between this coach that you really like and this coach that you don't really like, or the school that you really like and a school you don't really like, but everybody thinks you should go to the other one, please go with your gut, because you're gonna be there for 4 years. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's where you're gonna spend all your time. Probably your parents, if they went to college, you probably hear about their college all the time and all their stories from college. Trust your gut, you know what's best. And if you think something different from your parents, honestly, please hear them out. As I'm getting older, unless you're like a crazy helicopter golf parent who just wants to like live through their child, please hear them out on why they prefer a school. Or parents, don't grimace if I want to go to the laptop university. Don't do that, because that might be really where they want to go. Now, child, also try to understand that your parents raised you from the time you were literally an infant. They know what's best for you, what's best for your family morals, what's best for your family, money-wise, what's best for you. So it's understandable that this is a hard topic for them. Kid could just listen to why the parents don't like. Maybe the parents get an instinct from the coach. Maybe the parents don't like the dorms. Maybe they don't like that there's only 5 girls on the team. Maybe they don't like there's 12 girls on the team. It doesn't make sense to them. Okay, that's understandable. But maybe, Mom, if I could stay in this dorm, would that make it better? Okay, sure, yeah. As the child, please understand that your parents usually have a good instinct about what's best for you. But also on the flip side, a lot of times when the child is the first golfer in the family, parents don't understand. I'm sorry, my parents just don't get it. They don't get this intense feeling and the competition and the stigma and the pressures just in the girls' junior golf world around this. Parents do need to understand that they are looking in from the outside. It's like the kid is in this globe of this golf world, these other golfers, and the parents are just like looking into the globe. Please, both sides, try to see each other's point of view on where you think you should go to college. Somebody says, not a real question, but a general comment for your parents. You did a great job. Congrats. See, parents, mom and dad, I'm not that bad. Did you always enjoy golf even as a child? For starting, my 10-year-old daughter has zero interest. Okay, if your 10-year-old daughter is obsessed with golf, you're the anomaly, because it's just like not a fun children girl sport to play. I liked it because I would win. I would win at it, so I would keep going. And because my parents would pay for the event and they would take me there no matter where it was. So, I didn't really have a choice in that sense. I didn't like it at the beginning. I mean, it's not like I hated it. I would definitely go to the course and not do anything when I was 10. And I'd play a few holes and I'd sit down. But my dad beats range balls like for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I would beg him to go, please, can we just go home? Can we go home? I remember I'd be 10 and he would get those big, large buckets, like 5 of them. He was a pro baseball player. Like, I'm convinced he looks at the driving range like the batting cage. And I would just sit there. I'd walk around. At least have them at the golf course. It doesn't matter if they're not going to be perfecting their swings at 10. If they don't have any interest, like say, oh, I'll get you a slushie or something, you could sit in the cart. Have them around golf. They'll start to pick up on things. Oh, the cart goes on this side. Oh, that they're marking their ball. Ball goes that way. There's small things that humans just pick up on when you're around it for so long. Bring a cute colored ball and just bring them. And eventually they're going to want to try it because they're a child, right? So no, I was not enamored by the game of golf at a young age. It was actually probably quite the opposite. The only thing that would get me to go is my dad buy me a hot dog and a pop at the turn. I just started recently getting off the halfway house thing. How cool is your mom? That's what my mom asks. Cool. Why choose to make golf a career and not just keep it as a hobby? That is a good question. Guys, I think that's all I'm gonna do for today. Hey guys, sorry, of course my phone died. Once again, I am gonna do another video with my parents. If this video sparked any further questions that you wanna know from their point of view, how my parents drove me around and time restraints and, how did they create schedules for me and how did they even know what to do? Please comment below and I'm gonna have them answer all of your questions as well. I just wanted to get this out there because it actually got a lot of responses and it wanted this info. Sorry if this camera setup was so bad. I'm hoping that if you're watching this video, it's genuinely for the information, not so much for the production, but I'm literally working with Amazon boxes here. Once again, this YouTube thing is really, really great for me. I've had a really tough rookie year and I've had trouble trying to find things that kind of bring me light. This really has done it for me and I wouldn't be able to do it without all of you guys following me. So I know this video is kind of niche, but if I just help one person from this video, that's good for me. I hope to do my practice routine in Florida or even a week in my life in Florida. I don't do much golf here. I try to take as much time off as I can, but I obviously am still practicing every day. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching and I will talk to you guys next time. Hit 'em straight, guys. Peace.